Hello.
Hello. Welcome to this week in review.
Yes.
Apparently, no one else is going to do the introduction.
Well, I was gonna do it. I mean, come on. Anyways, hello everyone. This is your week in review for April 26th. Yeah, April 26th,
That is the date.
2013. I am, as always, Gamer Wolf, and today we have.
I am Brandon Carey, aka Enigma 530, and
I'm Punk the Penguin, aka Tetsuya Satoshi.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be just three of us for today. Seth and Titus are both busy for tonight, so...
yeah.
Anyways, how have things been going?
Things been going good. I just played through the Minerva's Den DLC for BioShock 2. I've been told was told it was pretty good, and it actually turned out to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's the one. That's actually DLC for BioShock 2. I haven't even touched yet, and it kind of sucks I haven't.
It's also interesting to compare BioShock 1 and 2 with BioShock Infinite because they're similar, but there are quite a few distinct differences between the two games, for lack of a better term. 'Cause they're both in the same franchise.
Yeah, I do agree on that. I mean, you definitely see the differences between the two teams. I mean, you know, on one hand you had 2K that did BioShock 1 and 2, and then you go over to Irrational Games that did BioShock Infinite, and you definitely see differences between them.
Yeah.
But it's still nice that Irrational Games actually like took the basically the plans, or how would I more say, basically the ideas from 2K with BioShock 1 and 2 and make it their own with Infinite. And it worked out so well for them.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed when playing through BioShock 1 and 2 compared to Infinite is that BioShock 1 and 2 were more anticipatory, whereas BioShock Infinite was much more reactionary in the way you played. For example, in BioShock 1, when you saw like level layout, you could be reasonably assured there was an encounter at that location, and so you had time to plan out your approach as to what kind of traps you'll be setting, what kind of plasmid you'll use, what kind of setups you want to put your enemies in. Whereas in BioShock Infinite, it was basically just, oh yeah, here's bad guys, blow them up.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no real distinction between any one combat scenario. There was no planning out anything. It was much more, oh yeah, here's some bad guys, you better react now before you die.
Hey, you got the
Yeah.
Washington.
True. I mean, at least granted, the thing with the robots looking like the president, or like Washington.
The Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. Definitely kind of goes over better than the pretty
Fuck the handyman.
bad. I'm more along lines of saying the pretty, let's say, bad 3-part DLC for Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh yeah, King Washington.
Yeah, that thing has not been going over very well, and people.
I
don't
just
know if the
don't
climax.
understand.
Basically, I don't know if the climax possibly redeems it.
I just don't understand what they were thinking with that DLC. More than anything else, it just seemed like a bizarre choice.
Yeah, to go with a what-if scenario.
Like Assassin's Creed has always been a huge what-if scenario in a sense, but that was stretching even further than usual.
Should I spoil the end of the what if scenario?
Well, there was only one way it could have gone.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been one heck of a week for this week. I mean, last week was light, you know, just the Nintendo Direct and some other things. This week got hammered.
Speaking of Nintendo,
Yeah, but first, I want to get this out of the way because honestly, I can't help but just what the fuck. And this is pretty much what I like to call the what the fuck story of the week here. You can put all the blame on Microsoft because honestly, why is there a Pizza Hut Connect app for the Xbox 360.
Why is
I
it
think the problem isn't that there is a Pizza Hut app. I think the problem is that the app is a Pizza Hut app. Like, if it was something like Papa John's or Domino's, I think people would be a little less upset.
I'm just
'Cause
like,
no one likes Pizza Hut.
it's not Pizza Hut for me. It's more along the lines of just, okay, you have ordering online, you have ordering by phone. Why the fuck do you need something for the 360? I mean, honestly, Microsoft, you know, you could really, you could spend more time improving the Xbox Live, some of the stuff on Xbox Live. I mean, come on, we're still stuck at 100 friends here, but no. Have to go
Speaking
with
of, rumors say the next Xbox will have no friends limit.
Well, that'd be nice, but still, it's too little, too late now. I guess whatever.
not that many
But
friends?
honestly, this is just. It's stupid. It's, honest to God, fucking branding stupidity.
I don't mind the app existing. It's just a weird decision. Like, honestly, what does the inclusion of this app hurt?
It hurts nothing, but at the same time, it's just... It makes you just go, why?
Yeah, that I do understand.
It hurts reputation.
Again, I just go back to the fact that you got the phone, you got online. Why this? It's completely unneeded. It's
Because we need to
stupid.
appeal to the young demographic. You kids today, we don't order enough Pizza Hut anymore.
That was hilarious in that video you sent me, Enigma, where the guy said he had a PizzaHut.com account. I'm like, they have an online account? For what?
Yeah, why would you want to... I'm getting sick of services that ask me to sign up for online accounts. That's actually starting to make me angry.
To comment on this post on Gaming Forever, you have to...
Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of there because honestly, I've stared at that story and I've constantly just gone, why?
It's a bizarre
Why?
story, I will admit, but
Why?
I don't see any reason to be upset by it.
Yeah. Anyways, now with the real stuff. First up, yes, Nintendo. Nintendo's actually made quite a bit more news rather than just a Nintendo Direct about announcements.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. First up is the fact that Satoru Iwata is now the Nintendo of America CEO, along with Nintendo of Japan. He is now now you can pretty much refer to him as the Super CEO of Nintendo.
So that's supposed to be a pun off Super Nintendo?
No, it's just what's actually been said.
Good, because that was a bad one if it was.
Yeah, it never occurred to me on that, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, I'm seeing it being said on a lot of, like, gaming news sites. I'm just like, yeah, might as well run with it. I mean, you being the CEO of both Japan and America, that's just pretty damn big. I mean, but it also proves that, you know, Satoru Iwata knows what he's doing very well if he's going to be, you know, both the CEO of Japan and America.
Or does he?
Anyways,
Well, it doesn't show that he knows his business well. That shows that he's convinced other people he knows the business well, which is not the same thing.
Well, depends on the people.
anyways,
And we'll get into that when we get into further Nintendo stories, obviously.
As said in this article, the new position was revealed in Nintendo's financial report, where it confirmed that Tatsumi Kimishima was being promoted from the NOA CEO to shareholder, and Iwata was going to take his place. Reggie Fils-Aimé will continue as in his role as president and the COO of Nintendo of America, though. So, yeah, Reggie...
So his body is still ready?
His body will still be ready for a long time to come. I'm pretty sure about that.
His body is ready for all the E3 love.
His body is always ready.
Yes.
Like the Hulk.
Now, Nintendo also had some bit of financial news on their side, in the fact that their fiscal year targets were missed with the 3DS and the Wii U. Nintendo's
Does this surprise anyone?
for the year ending at March 31st, 2013, Nintendo posted revenues of $635.4 billion, which is around $6.4 billion in dollars, which sadly is down 1.9 from last year, and an operating loss of 36.4 billion yen, which is around 366 million in the U.S. It's all thanks to lackluster sales of the Wii U. However, there is a silver lining, because due to favorable exchange rates, which Nintendo actually has a net profit of 7.1 billion yen, which is around $71.4 million. Which is an improvement over last year's shocking $434.5 million loss.
Ouch.
So they're actually going up, though it's just the Wii U, again.
There's no games for it, therefore it doesn't sell.
Yes, exactly.
You got the Monster Hunter and Seth to list a bunch of...
Yeah, despite a forecast revision of 5.5 million to 4 million, the Wii U wasn't able to meet that, ending the year with a mere 3.45 million units sold. Likewise, the software target for the Wii U was also reduced from 24 million to 16 million, yet only 13.42 million games were sold. The 3DS though did fare better, selling 13.95 million units and 49.61 million copies of software, which are both increases over last year's totals. Though it did miss the hardware target of 15 million, down from 17.5 million.
Nintendo they're losing the console war. The Wii U has been a failure. Let's not mince words.
Yeah, it's been a failure so far, but here's the thing. You take a look at the 3DS. The 3DS early on also failed, but now it is rapidly picking up steam with very, very much wanted software titles.
What's the 3DS have to compete with it? The Vita?
The Vita, well, true, the Vita is not really competition.
What was the biggest problem we had with Nintendo with the Wii?
With the Wii, it was just more along the lines of shovelware. There was just way too much for it, and it just...
I have no doubt that's going to be the exact same with the Wii U. It's going to be the exact same. In fact, it might actually be even worse with the Wii U, because with the Wii, everyone knew what the Wii was. It was a console that you waved your arms around and stuff happened. That was something that any single person on Earth could comprehend. With the Wii U, no one really knows exactly how to use this new technology. Or, in some people, we even have to figure out what exactly it is. Those people just happen to be Nintendo's target market for the Wii.
Yeah, true. And actually, Iwata actually points this out. Iwata talked about the Wii U's problems, and he said that the Wii U needs more software and also better education. To quote, "The release intervals of first-party key titles have been so much longer than we expected at the corporate management policy briefing in January that we have not successfully maintained the momentum of the platform. In addition, we have not been able to solidly communicate the product value of Wii U to our consumers yet, which has been a grand challenge for us."
Another thing, if they can't get their own titles out on their own console, what hope do any other developers have to do the same for their games? It's their own console. They shouldn't underestimate the amount of time it takes for their own software to come out. It's their own hardware.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is Nintendo we're talking about. They want to make sure that when stuff comes out for them, stuff comes out with almost no issues at all. They don't want to see any bugs. They don't want to see any malfunctions. They want everything to just be as close to perfect as possible in order to just stick with that Nintendo seal of quality they have.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look, let's go back to, I hate to say it, we go back right to EA again. SimCity, they fucked up. They fucked up hard. Nintendo never wants that to happen. So yes, it's it hurts them in the fact that, you know, they delay, but at the same time, when it comes out, it's just so clean and just not bug-ridden or glitch-ridden that it works.
It's like, for me, it's like Nintendo doesn't really understand how deep in the... Like, I know they understand, it's just that to me it feels like Nintendo doesn't really learn from their past mistakes. Because this is the Wii all over again, except even worse, with technology that people don't even fully grasp. And the big advantage that we had was that it was easy to understand, and that is just not here. You can't really pull your grandma over and tell her what the Wii U is and expect her to get it.
Yeah, he actually mentions that some have the misunderstanding that Wii U is just a Wii with a pad for games, and others even consider Wii U gamepad as a peripheral device connectable to Wii. We feel deeply responsible for not having tried hard enough to
they had better feel deeply responsible for it.
To have consumers understand the product. He also mentions that Wii U might still have no such captivating game title as Wii Sports for Wii, with which people immediately comprehended its product value, but it surely has a lot of factors appreciated by users. We would like to take the time to work thoroughly for its penetration by making various efforts to have many people understand its product value, as well as enriching the software lineup.
I remain skeptical. I remain so skeptical of the Wii U.
Well, I also blamed the lack of first-party consistency for the system having lost momentum, but promised investors Pikmin 3 in July will see the company's lineup reignite. He was similarly hopeful about the 3DS, which he believes is on the way of a resurgence, especially with titles such as Fire Emblem Awakening, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
We'll see.
All they need is Fire Emblem.
Now, here comes the big bombshell that Nintendo dropped. Nintendo will not be having a press conference at E3 2013.
Yeah, no.
Yes. This was actually tucked away at the end of Satoru Iwata's financial results briefing, saying that he conceded to the difficulty in delivering an on-point message to both gamers thirsty for software info, investors eager for hard business data, and everyone else with their own interests and desires. He announced that Nintendo will not be holding a conference, and instead will be planning to host a few smaller events that are specifically focused on their software lineup for the U.S. market. There will be one closed event for American distributors, and they will hold another closed hands-on experience event mainly for the Western gaming media. This one is the hot topic for this.
This, to me, communicates that Nintendo is no longer competing with both Sony and Microsoft. Like, they don't have the anything to reveal. That tells me they had nothing to reveal at E3. They have nothing worthwhile. Because if they did, then we'd know it.
I disagree on that. Here's the thing. Yes, I believe they're not competing with Sony and Microsoft, but I believe they're not competing with them this year. Why? Sony's got the PS4, Xbox got their new console. It's basically going to be a freaking damn hardware war between those two, and Nintendo doesn't want any part of it because they know they're going to get eclipsed. They do not want to be eclipsed, so instead they're going to hold private events for distributors, Western gaming media, and that to still get their word out, but also just to basically avoid the, dare I say it, the cockfight that's going to happen between Sony and Microsoft.
Well, the fact that you're dropping out of the race basically says you've been eclipsed already.
Still, I do not consider them dropping out of the race. I mean, also in the fact that, you know, yeah, they're not holding a press conference. Doesn't mean they're not going to be having like Nintendo Directs throughout the entirety of E3, which I'm pretty sure they're going to have, and they're basically going to deliver the full-on info with no industry bullshit. No, oh, this is our hardware says, oh, this is our entire plan for the entire year. I mean, if you've seen, here's the thing. If you take a look back at the 2 years previous of Nintendo's press conferences, they've been shitty. They've been awful. They've been the
because
worst.
they've had nothing to announce.
Not necessarily. 2011 was pretty
They
much.
never announce anything we don't already suspect is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know there's going to be another Mario. We know there's going to be another Zelda. We know there's going to be another Metroid. We all know this. This is just Nintendo standard. So when they come on saying, oh yeah, we have a new Mario, no one's impressed because we all knew it was going to come. We all knew it was going to happen. It surprises nobody.
Well, some people it surprises, but not in a good way.
Well, there was that Skyward Sword thing.
Yeah, that was a complete mess up. but yeah, you do have those. You do have those knowns, but there's still also the unknowns. I mean, we never knew until the Nintendo Direct back in early this year that there was going to be a crossover between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei. They put that up there, and boom. I was just, as soon as I saw that, I was just like, the fuck, man? Shut up and take my money. And then the past Nintendo Direct, because of the whole holdout, nobody really expected Nintendo to finally say, okay, you know what? You want Earthbound? We're going to put it on the Virtual Console. Came out, boom, again. I wouldn't say Nintendo has nothing up their sleeves, especially for game announcements. But again, they rather just split up their targets. They don't want to focus it all at once. Pretty much because I guess they've looked back at their past E3 press conferences and just went like, we can't do this. We can't do this. We're singling out one group of our three targets somehow. The Nintendo Direct always hits the gaming public, and then the whole private events.
Oh, another thing about the Nintendo Direct is that the thing is, any one of us, the people who would be affected by the Nintendo Direct, we'd already get that information anyway, just through the gaming press. That's getting their message to us isn't really a concern, because if you can't get your message out and you're Nintendo, what the fuck? Why the Wii was successful is that it appealed to Grandma, and again, Grandma doesn't attend gaming press conferences, but she knows about E3 because the mainstream news reports on it. I don't know if Nintendo Direct is going to get the same buzz that mainstream news will attract the New York Times or the Washington Post or the non-gaming journalists.
Maybe, but at the same time, I believe that news will still be readily available for those that are not, gaming eccentric. Mainly on the lines of, the news is going to spread over. I mean,
how will Grandma get access to find this news out?
Simple. It's all when the news goes out. Of course, the gaming news sites are always going to get that. Then that's going to spread, but then that also spreads over to pretty much any game store or store that has a game section, and they're going to start updating their lists. They're going to also, make sure to get this info out. I mean, especially GameStop. I mean, come on. They're the guys that are always asking for goddamn pre-orders. The news is going to spread, and it's going to go to the casual gaming public in just another way. And besides, overall, I don't see this as a big loss for Nintendo, because to be honest, E3's been going downhill. I mean,
I will say that overall, it's probably it's going to be definitely cheaper for Nintendo, because if I had the choice between doing $1 million press conference every year or tons of small $1,000 press conferences over the internet every couple of months, I'd probably end up doing the latter myself.
Yeah, especially since, not only that, you're not trying to fit every single bit of info you can into like an hour and 30 minutes. I mean, you can't really do that.
Keep in mind that
Stuff
E3
is
is not really for us at all. E3 is more for grandma and her banking investor friends.
Yeah.
Because, you know, every grandma has a banking friend.
But yeah, overall, I see this not hurting Nintendo. I mean, again, you can only fit so much into one press conference. You know, stuff is always going to get cut out. And to have these little 30 to 40 minute little mini shows every couple of months, it will keep your customers in the know much better than just trying to shove everything together into a small a barely long show. You know, stuff's going to spill over and stuff's going to get cut out.
The move itself might not affect Nintendo, but think about what this means symbolically for Nintendo. Like, this just shows you that we don't have enough, not really, to go up against Sony and Microsoft this E3.
Well, what can you do? I mean, honestly, you already got your console out, and there's the other two that are bringing out their consoles, and they're going to show off all the bells and whistles. You really can't do much to fight that. You really can't. And honestly, I'm also glad that Nintendo won't be fighting that, because if you're gonna to put out like some sort of like new third version of the Wii U, or like a new version of the 3DS somehow, no, that's just basically just you're trying to just shove yourself into the limelight, and it's only gonna backfire.
Well, the whole point of E3 is shove yourself into the limelight. You don't get attention unless you shove yourself into the limelight if you're a company like that. Like, that's how you get attention. That's how you get people to notice you, is by putting yourself out there. I can't buy your shit if I don't know what I want from you. Nintendo needs to make us want the Wii U, make us want their games.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't know. I always thought E3 was kind of boring, personally.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's, you know, it's just so much more just for the financial shit than just actual like gaming, major gaming announcements. Because there's always going to be like 30 minutes of that press conference is going to be all about our plans for the fiscal year, how many consoles we've sold, what's our projected number of consoles, and what. Basically, it's just like, you know, seriously, cut the shit.
Again, it's for grandma, not us.
Yeah, it's for grandma that cares about the 401ks and all that shit.
Oh yes, the 401ks. I don't know what the...
Once you accept that E3 is not for the gaming, for gamers, things become a lot simpler.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out this one comment just like sums it up right here. It's a smart choice for Nintendo. Avoid comparison to the new consoles. Showcase your software when you got the public undivided attention, and then just avoid again. It all comes down to avoid that cockfight between Sony and Microsoft for this year. I mean, who knows? Nintendo will probably be back for 2014, but just this year, no thank you. We're going to sit this one out and just go get the public's undivided attention with smaller private events.
You also wonder if they did this for their own self-interest, if they have something actually interesting.
Well, the company, they don't do anything and that's out of the goodness of their heart. It's always in self-interest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what does E3 really have this year besides Sony and Microsoft going, new console?
Yeah.
And the Wii U really can't compete compared to the new consoles. Not really.
Well, yeah, not hardware-wise, of course not. But Nintendo's never been about, you know, we're gonna create a console that's all bells and whistles. We're gonna give you like the most realistic 3D graphics, the most intense explosions. No, we're not going to go the route of Michael Bay. They've all been just more about the actual just experiences they want to give, and just crafting these games and showing that graphics aren't really everything. I mean, and honestly, they aren't. It's all about the story, because if the game actually is good and playable. I mean, again, we could count so many games that have looked good and then just fallen due to trash, such as Aliens Colonial Marines. And it's just something that just some companies just don't understand, sadly. Anyways, next up, speaking of Xbox, Microsoft has announced that the Xbox unveiling will be May 21st at Redmond, Washington.
Yeah, there's this increasing trend of people announcing stuff outside of E3. Sony with their PS4 reveal a couple months ago, and Microsoft now with their new Xbox. Like, it appears that E3 is they'll unveil it outside of E3, and then they'll put more details at the E3 meeting.
Yeah, that's
the new trend.
Yeah, I mean, we can bet that E3, Sony's going to actually show off what the PS4 is going to look like. Xbox, don't know if they'll actually show it off first and try to get the one up on Sony, just revealing their console, just to give the public what their new system's going to look like and all that. Now, the event on May 21st is set up to happen at 10 a.m., so early riser. The whole event, though, will be streamed on Xbox.com and also on Xbox Live at the same time. Now, this also goes up with another bit of rumor that's also circling around Microsoft at this time. Microsoft is leaving DRM up to the individual publishers.
That's better than the rumor suggested, but that's still not good.
Yeah.
Better does not mean good, especially in this case.
Yeah, following talks of price points at a potential November launch for the next Xbox, Polygon compiled the latest rumors that they heard, and sources say that there will be an always online requirement present, but Microsoft's current plan is to reportedly to let publishers decide if they want to require a one-time activation or a constant internet connection. Other details also include revamped achievements, which can be introduced after a game's launch.
Chivos.
Yeah, big fucking whoop.
I've already spoken in the past about how much I dislike achievements.
Yeah. Microsoft is also reportedly working on a DVR-esque feature for capturing game footage with the functionality to select highlights and even automatically record in-game events.
Oh
hey, guess what? Yeah, look who's stealing from look who's stealing from who now?
I'm still not convinced the share button's going to be all that useful, but I mean, if they're going to do it, might as well.
Yeah, the whole live streaming gameplay is it's become so... It's basically become so prevalent in gaming as of late that it's kind of the new bandwagon. And with Microsoft reportedly working on something like this, it just proves even more. It's a bandwagon. Microsoft wants a piece of it.
You know what? I'm all for them making it easier to share videos and shit. That's a cool thing. It's just I'm not convinced the tools they're providing are enough. Like, for people to make really good videos, you're going to want some editing software in there, or some form of being able to export and stuff. You're not going to want to just send the raw footage. No one ever wants to do that. Like, it's very rare you ever want to send the raw footage out.
Yeah, true enough. It also remains to be seen if Microsoft's actually going to be partnering with any of the remaining streaming sites, since Sony has officially partnered with Ustream.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft somehow partners with Twitch. But there's still other streaming sites like Owned.tv and so on. So we'll have to see if there's any possibility of another partnership happening with the next Microsoft console on May 21st.
It's possible.
Now, Microsoft also has been at work outside of the outside of consoles, in the fact that they've appointed a new boss for Lionhead Studios. John Needham, who was the CEO of Gazillion and Cryptic, and sadly was also a member of GameStop's Digital Advisory Council, will be the new studio head of Lionhead Studios.
That's Peter Molyneux's old company, right?
Yep.
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. This is a historic time in our industry, and I'm excited, honored to be joining Lionhead and Microsoft Studios. Our vision is focused on building innovative gaming services and AAA experiences at Lionhead and the rest of Microsoft Studios, which take advantage of Microsoft's incredible hardware and software platforms. He was quoted to say, "Yeah, here's the thing, though. I really hope you can breathe some form of life into the Fable franchise, because it's right now on death's door."
Ouch.
That's my only hope for this change, because Fable 3 and Fable the Journey were just awful tanks. I mean,
Yeah. Everyone knows Peter Molyneux is notorious for that kind of stuff. He's notorious for overselling and under-providing.
Yeah, he promised way too much and provided way too little of what he promised.
And I think we all knew that was going to happen with Fable 3 because it's happened with the first two Fable games.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Fable 1 and 2 were actually enjoyable. 3 was just an awful pain in the ass with way too many flaws, and the journey, it's Kinect, end of story.
Well, I mean, the Kinect did have that Star Wars game.
So don't even mention that goddamn thing. Oh,
Are you saying that a dancing Han Solo was
blasphemy? Blasphemy! Blasphemy! I swear to God, if I ever get my hands on one of those discs, I'm actually going to burn it and see it melt right before my eyes.
I don't know. I got a kick out of dancing Han Solo.
That song was terrible. But,
oh, yeah, don't even get me on the goddamn rip-offs of popular songs just rewritten to fucking fit in the Star Wars
Fable 3 wasn't
universe. God. Yeah, at
least it wasn't Daikatana.
Oh, God. Oh, that is one nobody really mentions all that much now. But yeah, I'm hoping Needham will actually breathe some life into this. I mean, again, he was the CEO of Cryptic, which brought
what kind of games did Cryptic make again?
They originally brought City of Heroes before they left that and left it in the hands of Paragon Entertainment, and then they did Champions Online, which is also still a pretty good superhero MMO. It's actually one I still play now. I checked out DC Universe Online, and it's okay, but I'll probably just only play it just for the storyline, for the Batman storyline. That's it.
Just forgot them.
Oh yes, speaking of Batman.
Yeah. Oh crap! I did not save that link. Can you get that link for me, Enigma, real fast?
1 second, I can Google it.
All right. Also, let me see. We got one quick thing before we go to that. Along the lines of Sony, Sony has filed the trademark for the Order 1886. A new U.S. trademark for the Order 1886 was filed by Sony, and it's quoted to be a new game that they are working on in secret as of right now. though it's not known as if this is fully going to be a new IP or if this is going to be a game that's just being rebranded. Also, the team working behind this is Netherlands-based Guerrilla Games Studio. And Guerrilla was reported to actually be already working on a new game, so question remains if this is actually related to the announcement of the Order 1886 as a trademark or not. Either way, I mean, heck, if this comes out as another launch title for the PS4, hey, stronger launch window right there.
Yeah, the PS3 is a very strong...
PS4. I said PS4. I know I said it.
Yeah, PS4. Yeah, you did. The PS4... Sony's always had a pretty strong IP lineup. Like, even when you compare it to Microsoft, they've always had a pretty... They've had stronger exclusives, at least in my opinion. Like, I'm not interested in Halo, but I'm more interested in that. But things like Sly Cooper, Infamous interest me far more than that. So maybe I have a biased opinion. I'm not gonna lie, but I've always felt that Sony had had a better lineup than Microsoft did.
Yeah, true, but it just all came down to execution. Well, in a way, actually, both bungled it up. Anyways, did you... okay, there we go. In fact, this little bar, I really don't want to close it because it'll probably turn off Procaster again. Anyways, okay, next up. Yep. Bad news for any Batman the Animated Series fans. Kevin Conroy will not be returning for Batman Arkham Origins. Now, it's been said that the reasoning behind this is the fact that Batman Arkham Origins is pretty much more along the lines of Batman the early years, if you will. And this more younger Batman, they wanted to go with WB Games Montreal wanted to go with a different voice actor instead of going with Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman in both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, along with Injustice Gods Among Us. This, it's sad that, Kevin Conroy won't be voicing Batman for this one, but at the same time, if it doesn't work, storyline-wise, I could probably see the point.
I'm not against them changing voice actors, but I'm noticing this odd trend lately where voice actors for well-established characters are getting replaced by newbies. And I'm not sure it's a bad trend or not. I'm still debating that, but it's just odd. So this isn't the first person that's been replaced by someone new for an arbitrary reason. Hitman's voice actor was going to get replaced before the fan outcry. Then there was Sam Fisher, who I think he got replaced because the actor was actually sick of doing the role. Then there's Solid Snake. I'm sure you all know about that already, so I'm not going to beat around that bush. Then there was Stephen Russell as Garrett and Thief, who didn't get the role because they needed the voice actor to do motion capture stunts.
Which is kind of a BS
requirement. Stupid. Especially for Thief, who didn't really have a whole lot of reliance on cutscenes. And now we have Kevin Conroy, who will not be doing Batman in the new Arkham game. Again, nothing wrong with these kind of choices. It's just odd that it's happening so often.
Yeah, I mean, the only possible maybe silver lining is the fact that maybe Kevin Conroy will actually voice Batman in the 3DS sequel to Arkham Origins that will be coming out on the
odds are it'll be the same voice actor for both roles. Just being honest, the odds are it's the same guy for both roles. Okay. Whoever ends up being it.
You can always voice who's his dad.
Yeah, that's the only thing we gotta hope for is that the voice actor doesn't suck.
Well, the thing the voice actor has to capture is if this Arkham game has Bruce and Batman, that he has to change his voice inflection one.
Yeah, but yeah, again, I do agree with you on the fact that it's, I don't really disagree with it, and in the case of the fact that they've actually said that the storyline for this game is basically a younger, less experienced Batman. I don't really have a problem with it overall. I just hope
Again, me neither.
I just hope again that the voice actor they get is actually decent and does the role justice.
Where's Scarecrow?
Oh God. But with the fact that he voiced Batman in Justice Gods Among Us, Warner Brothers Games is not like saying, okay, we're going to shun Kevin Conroy out. No, it's just this is purely just along with the lines of the storyline is more of a younger Batman.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with them casting a younger person for someone who is a Batman and who in his younger days, when he's still not quite as experienced at being Batman.
Yeah.
Although one of the problems I have is that for Batman, if I recall correctly, he went away and trained every martial art known to man for a number of times. So if he had that amount of training, he probably wouldn't need that much experience, even in his younger days.
Yeah, that's why it's even being said that the Batman in Arkham Origins he's not gonna punch a guy and he's not gonna punch a guy and then just try and see how many basically care if he's knocked any teeth out. He's gonna be less of the detective and more just that brawler.
And isn't Batman's whole gist that he doesn't want to kill anyone? I think a more aggressive Batman kind of... I don't know if it's even something that's wrong, but it seems like a more aggressive Batman would really go against the "I'm not trying to kill anyone" kind of thing that Batman has going for him.
Yeah, but again, that kind of goes with the fact that they're going to show that in this one, Batman doesn't have all that experience yet. He's still got a few things to learn, even though he's learned all those.
But the whole doesn't kill people thing comes from his parents dying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to keep that. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep that. It's just more along the lines of he just when he injures someone, he's not going to be the one to just look down and see the damage. He's not going to care about it.
See, that suits his son, Damian, a lot more than Bruce, because there have been multiple forms of media that show Bruce when he's first starting out, and by experience they mean in terms of fighting crime. He didn't really have the Batman motif right away and scaring people. He went out a couple of nights dressed like a thug with a ski mask on, screwing with people. I guess maybe that's what they're going for. They want him to get familiar with fighting crime. I don't know.
Probably. That sounds like quite possibly what they're going for. But
going back to the original story, a new voice actor can and probably should be the right choice for this particular kind of game for an origin story.
Yeah.
No offense to Kevin Conroy, but he's pretty old. He did do a young voice Batman a couple of times in the animated series and stuff, and I don't know if he could pull that off anymore at the same time.
Probably could.
Yeah, give some new meat a chance.
I don't know if he could pull it out for long enough to sustain an entire game's worth of voice acting, though.
Yeah.
That could probably destroy his voice.
Yeah. Just make it kind of high-pitched and weak and stuff, and for Bruce, and hopefully this new guy, or whatever, just give him a chance, see what he's got. Don't be one of those people that's,
That's the same thing with the new Thief voice actor, too. I'll give him a chance. I would rather have Stephen Russell there, but I'll give this new boy a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sonic fan base won't.
Well, yeah, but the Sonic fan base did get what they wanted.
Sonic is voiced by Ezio, so that's already a plus in my book.
Yeah, and I already as soon as I heard his new voice in I heard both him and Tails' new voices in Sonic Colors, I was like, great, this works. This really friggin' works. Especially since it also cut ties with the that Sonic voice actor from Sonic X. Ugh. Anyways.
Okay, you be careful, Tails.
Oh, God. Anyways, alright. Now, this week, we saw finally pretty much the end of the THQ franchise sales. With Nordic Games coming away with the last few franchises that were still up for grabs: Red Faction, Darksiders, and some others. For $4.9 million, Nordic Games bought some 150 individual SKUs that include the notable properties of Darksiders, Red Faction, MX vs. ATV, and Destroy All Humans. Additionally, Drawn to Life and its successor, The Next Chapter, also actually went to 505 Games separately. In the long term, we want to cooperate with the original creators or best possible developers in order to work on sequels or additional content for these titles, says Nordic Games Group AB CEO Lars Wingefors. I think that's how you say his last name. However, there's a slight problem, as it's looking like the future of Darksiders may be a bit more uncertain in Nordic Games' hands. Mainly because of the fact that no developers, no plans, and they probably don't have enough money.
A lot of these properties seem almost like you can't really use them that much. For example, like the last Destroy All Humans game was not good.
Yeah, it was,
at all.
Yeah, it totally sucked.
And with Red Faction 2, like out of all those properties, Darksiders is probably the one they can do the most with at this point, because it didn't sell a very impressive amount, but it did fairly well, relatively speaking.
Yeah, but at the same time, if Nordic Games does not exactly have any plan, already a solid plan for the Darksiders franchise, it just already looks bleak.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, as of right now, Lars Wingefors also made clear that the company has no intention to develop sequels at this time. Rather, the company wishes to act as a middleman for those properties, licensing out and greenlighting projects for other developers to carry out.
That's actually probably a very smart move. Just like, oh, you want to use Darksiders? Here, pay me $5 million. You can make the Darksiders game you want.
Yeah, well, at least in a slight bit of possibly good news, at least the thought of a Crytek designed Darksiders 3 isn't completely gone into the ether just yet.
Buying out all those properties, I'm not sure what you can really expect from them, though. This is almost like an unknown territory we're going into. Because Red Faction and Destroy All Humans, they're not really that viable of franchises. Darksiders is pretty much the only one.
Yeah.
So whatever they do with Darksiders, that's pretty much their one egg in the basket.
That's all they got. That's their one shot.
Yeah.
This isn't putting all your eggs in one basket, having only one egg. Period.
Yeah, Wingefors also added that I'm sure we can find a solution for at least one of the IPs or a few of the IPs this year, potentially this summer. There will be a lot of discussions at E3, but it's hard to say. I'm very open-minded and flexible. So
you better be in order to get, because otherwise the Darksiders franchise might not be doing that hot, and Red Faction will be almost, and Destroy All Humans will be almost impossible to sell unless you're open-minded.
Yeah, exactly.
New games in the series could work, but they'd be very difficult, and they wouldn't have a strong brand name at this point.
Yeah, you almost would have to pull a retcon and try to start all over on them.
You almost need to avoid using the actual title "Destroy All Humans" or Red Faction. You can keep in the same universe, but just don't use those titles.
Yeah. Yeah, much like a certain other game that we'll be getting towards later on. Though next up, there was also one other purchase that of the remnants of THQ's IPs, and that went to Gearbox. Gearbox now has the rights to the classic RTS Homeworld, and they have plans to bring Homeworld 1 into the digital platforms.
I don't like Gearbox. I really don't like Gearbox. Although, for fans of Homeworld, I guess getting the first 2 games on digital platforms will be a plus. A lot of the people I know who are fans of that franchise are dreading what Gearbox is going to do with it. They are not, like, after what happened with Aliens, Duke Nukem Forever, and even Borderlands to an extent, is not not the best game out there. It's good, but it's not particularly great. Like, no one really expects Gearbox to do that well with this Homeworld franchise.
At least in a little bit of a bright note, at least for Homeworld fans, Borderlands developer Gearbox other than planning to release the sequel, the original Homeworld and its sequel on digital platforms, they have not stated any intentions for any kind of a console release or future sequels. Though, bad news for console owners, but what you gonna do? Especially since this was a PC game to start with, so it's understandable. Along with the fact that RTSs almost never do well on consoles ever. Gearbox also revealed that if that it was the highest bidder in the acquisition of the Homeworld franchise, as well, by spending $1.35 million, which is kind of a shocker. It wasn't really that high, so it's kind of. Sadly, Homeworld 1 and 2 weren't exactly considered must-have franchises.
And another thing I want to talk about is that Gearbox's experience is mostly with shooters, and Homeworld's an RTS. I wonder what they're going to do. Like, I wonder what kind of studios are going to contract in order to make this game, because they can't. I don't think they'll be able to do it by themselves.
I honestly doubt that. I'm pretty sure Gearbox will actually talk to like some developer.
They're going to have to contract somebody to do it.
Yeah, they're gonna get a developer that has RTS experience, and they're gonna partner with them for this if they're even gonna think about making a new game in the Homeworld series.
Let's just hope that goes better than Colonial Marines did.
Yeah, that was
also partially outsourced.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That was also outsourced.
Time Gate Studios.
And you can even say the same. Well, kind of say the same for Duke Nukem Forever, since it was partially just all friggin'. God, I forget their name now because they're gone.
3D Realms.
3D Realms, yeah. 3D Realms, yeah. Yeah, you can say the same for that. So, Gearbox's like in-home developed stuff has that okay track record, but everything else is just falling to pieces.
It's not even that particularly great, at least not in my opinion. Like, I didn't actually like the first Borderlands game. I didn't buy the second because I didn't like the first.
The first one was okay, but the PC port was just it sucked. It sucked because of Windows Games for Windows Live integration, which fucking not Games for Windows Live. I'm thinking of something else. GameSpy integration, and it just there was some problems with it. It's like FPS drops and that. It hurt it.
I just got bored of the game. I got to a point where I realized I was shooting the exact same dudes with different versions of the same weapons in very much the same terrain. I am not having fun.
Here's the thing, though. Borderlands in general, it's basically considered a Diablo-esque first-person shooter. If the mix,
I love loot.
If the mix of the two does not gel well for you, it's not gonna work. I played the first Borderlands, and I got severely hooked on it. Especially, teaming up with friends and just going through the whole thing. And Borderlands 2, I definitely agree. It's a good step up. It's a pretty good step up from the original, and the fact that, first of all, no GameSpy, and second, the combat just feels a lot more hectic. Because that was the one thing I could definitely agree, that Borderlands had its dull zones. Borderlands 2, I don't feel a lot of dull zones. The
ending in particular was particularly annoying for me. Like, the ending, the ending in particular was particularly like, ugh, another shoot-a-fest. Can I just have, like, 5 minutes where I'm not shooting something?
No. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like Gearbox. I really don't like Gearbox that much.
Yeah, Gearbox is okay, but I just don't trust them with stuff that's not, like, really fully in-house developed in there.
Let's move on to the next story.
Next up, as we reported last week, Capcom did make some restructuring, which accounted for not only loss of jobs but also losses of some projects. Capcom has clarified that the recent canceled games that they've canceled were all unannounced. In a Q&A summary regarding Capcom's revised financial forecast of last week, it has been clarified that no currently announced titles were dropped. There were a few titles scheduled for the current fiscal year, but most of the cancellations were releases planned for the fiscal year ending March 2015 and subsequent fiscal years, which is the response that Capcom has released. However, yeah, we'll be left wondering what could have been, which most likely is another a fucking Mega Man game that should have came.
Well, we don't really know which for sure. Anything we would say was speculation at best.
Otherwise, elsewhere in the Q&A, when it was suggested that few companies have implemented the DLC strategy successfully, Capcom reiterated its thinking. Currently, the AAA titles of a few companies dominate the downloadable content market as the sales volume of mid-size and small titles declines. We plan to formulate an appropriate strategy based on the scale of each title. Yeah, reinforcing the fact that DLC Avalanche is coming. Brace yourselves.
I don't wanna.
I'm getting... Like, I'm not even... I like the concept of DLC, but developers... Capcom, as one of the greatest examples, just abuse it. Abuse it to no end. They beat it with the stick and then beat it some more.
Yeah, though I'm more seeing along the lines of they beat it with a stick and then they took a look, they see it's not dead, then they grab a goddamn baseball bat, beat it again, they see it's still not dead, they grab a sledgehammer.
There's DLC that's basically just unlock codes. There's DLC that's given to you day one that you probably aren't even going to be interested in until like a week later. There's DLC that adds just a bunch of that adds stuff that literally should have been part of the story, part of the like main game. It just I don't understand this push. Actually, I do understand. I just don't like this constant push, this nickeling and diming of every little thing that comes out.
Yeah, and this brings us back to the whole thing of on this DLC. If it happens again, there's going to be a shitstorm, and Capcom's going to have no one to blame but themselves.
On this DLC is like the biggest, the most insulting thing you can do to me. Like, there are very few things that piss me off more than on this DLC when it comes to the gaming world. Very few things.
Well,
that shit really pisses me off.
It's bullshit, so it should.
Oh yeah, most definitely should. I mean, it's just it's pretty much, this could have been in the full retail version of the game, but we're just gonna keep it on the disc, and you're gonna have to pay an extra $5 to unlock it.
And the funny thing is, that might actually be illegal. Like, no shit, actually illegal against the law. They won't ever stop because no one will ever be able to amass the funds to challenge it in the court.
Yeah.
There's no way a single person's going to sue on that grounds.
Yeah, that's the sad point of it all.
So they are protected because no one will be able to sue them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just on like strictly speaking legally, they're not legally allowed to do that. That's against the law.
Oh, I have no doubt that's illegal to do. I mean,
Just a little fun fact.
again, nickel and diming. That's all it is.
Like just fun fact. It's actually technically illegal to sell DLC that's on the disc because technically speaking, the consumer already owns it.
Mm-hmm. And moving from bad news to, well, definitely bad news because more people lose their jobs. Hard but essential EA restructuring results in more layoffs.
Worth noting that it was the EA Partners division, which was actually one of the few good wings of EA.
Yeah, that's what really hurts. Yeah, Game Informer reported that the EA Partners publishing label used for games like Insomniac's Fuse were the ones that were hit the most with this. Tweets from those in the industry have also pointed to the closure of studios such as PopCap Vancouver and Quicklime Games.
A lot of the games from EA Partners were really, really good, or at least interesting. Like this is a really serious blow to EA, at least in my eyes. Like I think less of them now because EA Partners is not there.
Yeah, and Kotaku obtained a letter from the acting EA CEO Larry Probst that was sent to the employees, and an excerpt was taken out from it. Core marketing functions have been consolidated under our COO, Peter Moore. The combined group will bring together our label marketing teams, global acquisition marketing, and marketing analytics into one multi-talented team under Todd Citron's leadership. The development and marketing teams will continue to work as cohesive units, driving clear and constant messaging and consumer engagement for each of our franchises.
But I'm just mad.
They're really it was just the whole SimCity thing has just seemed to just become a never-ending snowball for them. I mean, first it was that, then they had the loss of God. Now that he's gone, I completely forget about his name. And we get that, and just it's just one thing after another, and it's just.
EA is on the brink of collapse at this point. Like, it really is. Look at what's going on.
Yeah,
they're refusing to see the writing on the wall.
It's a total gut shot that's just not stopping, and it's gonna be to the point where, EA is gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. We're going to need to speed through the next few next stories because I'm actually getting really tired.
Well.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, unfortunately, something doesn't exactly help EA. Their 2.0 update for SimCity created more bugs than it did fixes.
This is our segment called Bad SimCity News of the Week.
Yeah, here's the just the what the fuck part. Very not as what the fuck as the Pizza Hut thing, but definitely what the fuck in the fact that one of the glitches is the fact that it quote unquote creates too much poop and ends up resulting in this infinite spam of garbage trucks. There is an actual
all I can think right now is I wish Seth were here.
I know, same here. But yeah, there's a video on this page. I will actually link it into the chat if you want to check it out. The garbage truck bug. It pretty much, to sum it up, one garbage truck ends up somehow just giving birth to so many more garbage trucks out of itself, and yet the original stays there. At
this point, SimCity just amuses me as like a little obsession I have. Like, I'm not even angry at it anymore. I'm just amused. Like, how in the hell could one game be so fundamentally broken on so many levels?
Yeah, and
it's offensive. It's disgusting and offensive.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, you guys really didn't test this. You really didn't test it before releasing it. Now you see what the hell happens. I mean, the other errors that have been reported are various transit issues, leaderboards showing no data, and probably one of the most, I'd say, funny but also kind of things, trees making siren and honking noises.
What kind of code did they have to fix to get that working?
I have no clue.
Like, what would that
game.
should need? There should be no such coding fix that would allow that to happen. Like, there's no way that those trees were associated at all with sirens in any sense of the word.
Just why? Just why? This is almost. I swear. If they try and fix this and they create even more bugs, I'm officially calling this, along the lines of Old Yeller. Just take it out and shoot it.
We once thought that SimCity was a fundamentally good game with just the online shit that was annoying, but then we found out no, the game is fundamentally broken on more than one level. On like every possible level, the game is broken, doesn't work. I wonder why it took so long for this game to come out, because it obviously wasn't tested.
Oh, most definitely was not. Especially if you're having trees that are making honking noises like cars, and you got the garbage truck that's...
They had to have QA'd that patch. I don't understand. It's like Maxi wants to just give their customers the middle finger in so many ways.
It's really, really insulting.
You might as well mean, how many ways can I tell the consumer, fuck you?
I think EA's already got the book written on that, with a couple of chapters that get donated by Activision and Capcom.
And Square Enix.
At least Square Enix is trying to fix their mistakes somehow.
I guess, yeah.
Anyways, next up. Yeah, we got some rumors that are suggesting some major trouble in Thiefland.
Uh-oh.
That's underselling it.
Yeah, after ages and ages of silence, Eidos Montreal's Thief reboot finally saw fit to break cover last month, but then something was a bit off, and
the lead designer of the game quit right after the Game Informer story broke.
Yeah, ain't that the shit?
There's a difference between like a senior programmer or artist quitting and the person who's designing the game quitting. That is a very, very big deal. To the point where I was excited about the Thief game, and I'm not excited anymore. I'm in fact now afraid of this game.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, to quote a source, said that the current version of Thief barely resembles the initial concept. The vertical slice doesn't load inside Thief's current heavily modified version of Unreal Engine 3. Many programming tricks were necessary to run the current demonstration, like turning off non-playable character AI. The engine has trouble when too many characters are on the screen. That's bad.
Yeah, apparently the demo doesn't work on their actual game engine. This is like catastrophic failure and on all possible levels. And Square Enix was upset that Eidos was losing money, and those were the games that were working. Imagine when this game comes out, since it's clearly not working, what's gonna happen to Square Enix?
Yeah, the only thing I can say is that the best thing, they better scratch off that release date of they better keep that date of like sometime next year that the game's supposed to release. They better put that as a big question. They better put that as a big question mark.
Tell them to start over from scratch at this point. Go back to concept.
Yeah, they probably better off just get maybe the newest Unreal Engine and just start from scratch.
Ever since that Game Informer story was released, every little thing about the Thief game has been bad news.
Yeah.
Or at least interpreted in a negative way. And I love the Thief games. And this is actually like really heartbreaking for me. I want this game to work, but I'm not convinced it will.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We'll have to see what happens. I mean, the best thing, hopefully, will be the fact that they announce that the version that you saw we're just accident, and we're going to start over from the beginning, and just push back the release date probably to maybe even like 2014 or 2015.
Yeah.
Next up, little bit of a bad news for Skullgirl fans, unfortunately. The Skullgirls funding was withheld by PayPal.
What?
Yeah. After the successful Indiegogo funding campaign for the 2D Fire Skullgirls netted nearly $830,000, unfortunately, despite reaching that goal, PayPal froze their accounts due to the fear of chargebacks or money withdrawals if backers didn't receive. Now, unfortunately, this is also partially on the effect of the fan base, because it was possibly predicted that backers would pull out their money if they didn't receive their favorite design in the final product. The freeze initially meant Lab Zero can pay its employees, and Lab Zero CEO Peter Bartholow subsequently was distraught about it. According to a NeoGAF post, he sent them all the documentation they asked for last night, hoping that it would be resolved today, but he didn't hear anything back.
I'd be distraught too if I were him. That's bullshit.
Yeah. He also immediately filed a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau because the whole thing seems decidedly non-kosher.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Evidently, PayPal wanted Lab Zero to take on the risk of if a large number of people requested a chargeback, which Bartholow refused. They also asked if we're good for $700,000 if something goes wrong. I said no, because, well, we're not, to quote him. The whole point of crowdfunding is to give us the money to develop stuff, not take out a loan. Now, good news, though. Eventually, a compromise was reached between Lab Zero and PayPal, and they lifted the freeze, but they have kept $30,000 as collateral due to the fear of the chargebacks. It's likely a vocal minority, but it's still something we'd like to address if possible, said Bartholow. We did this because we thought it would make people happy and excited, and we would rather it stay that way.
Come on, PayPal. All PayPal has to do is just handle transactions and make sure that the money gets to the right hands. That's all they have to do. Like, this shouldn't be a complicated spiel. This should be a one and done thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, PayPal's apparently more fucking convoluted than...
All you need to do is increase and decrease numbers and then keep a record of it.
Yeah, but
that's everything you need to do.
Yeah, but apparently no. PayPal doesn't want to deal with all that shit. They'd rather not see a list of people wanting the charge back.
And the thing is, Kickstarter's terms, a chargeback will be in violation of those terms.
Yeah, true. Same with that too. So,
so I don't know what the issue is.
It does void PayPal's argument. So, yeah, I guess that's PayPal for you, a bunch of fucking pricks.
Those backers put the money up knowing full well that they might not get what they want. That's the whole point of Kickstarter. It'd be like saying that they're only funding Project Eternity because they're afraid of kickbacks. You can't do that. It's nonsense.
Yeah. Good news though, Bartholow is promising that this delay with the funding will not hinder the development of Skullgirls at this time. And they are currently in their fourth and final week of voting for the first fan-chosen DLC character, with the second round beginning next week. Next up, we finally got the confirmation about 2K Games' rebranding of the originally XCOM first-person shooter. It is now titled The Bureau, XCOM Declassified.
It's a thing, I guess.
Well, okay, here's the thing. To put it as to put the XCOM name under there, basically that just says we have ties to XCOM, but guess what? This isn't a full-on XCOM game. The Bureau, the Bureau game will be unraveling the origins of XCOM before the organization had state-of-the-art technology, foreign agents, or even knew what it was up against. The story will follow intelligence agent William Carter, who finds himself employed by an agency that secretly investigates Russia in 1962 during the height of the Cold War, where America suspects the Soviet Union has nukes that aren't going to go unused.
I'll be honest, I've got zero interest in this game.
Ouch.
I just gotta be perfectly honest with you. I have no feelings whatsoever for this game. Neither positive nor negative. It's just not even on my radar.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for me, but I do have a little bit of interest. I mean, it's said that, like XCOM Enemy Unknown, player will actually be able to direct teammates who can permanently die. This is basically going to be a FPS RTS hybrid that's similar to the game Brothers in Arms.
That sounds like a bad escort mission to me, even if it's not actually an escort mission. Because I know I'm going to end up if I were to play the game, I would end up wanting all my AI companions to live, which means I would be spending so much time reloading. It almost wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, I'd rather not play a giant game-long escort mission. No, thank you.
See, the best escort mission game was BioShock Infinite. Elizabeth always made sure you were okay. The best escorted person.
No, that game was a horrible escort mission for Elizabeth. She's there thinking, Jesus fucking God, Christ, this guy keeps dying, needing health, salts, money. Come on. Nothing?
No, I got it.
But again, they're just... Again, 2K is not fully branding this as an XCOM game. They're just saying, okay, this is just showing off the origins. This is kind of a side story to the main story. It's just basically, we're going to show you how the whole thing started. And we're going to give you a mix that's along the lines of games like Brothers in Arms, which also was an FPS RTS hybrid.
I mean, I guess that works. I don't have any strong feelings for it. Or any really opinions on this matter.
Yeah. Yeah, as of right now, with me, it's a wait and see kind of thing. I mean, we know that the team behind the two BioShock games from 2K are going to be are working on this. So
Hmm.
hopefully this actually all works out, and we don't get like the usual. If you've seen any kind of videos about the original XCOM reveal, you know the quote of betrayal.
Yeah.
So hopefully won't be seeing that. And now, speaking of 2K games, they actually will not be having a booth at this year's E3.
Neither will Valve, from what I hear.
Yeah. 2K will instead be utilizing its Twitch TV and YouTube channels for promotion of their upcoming titles and any gaming info.
That makes 3. Nintendo, 2K, and Valve. Is there like some sort of rebellion against E3 this year?
Maybe.
Again, E3's just been more corporate than like for like the gaming public.
I suppose. Some truth to that.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2K will just instead be streaming their stuff via Twitch TV and YouTube, and they'll most definitely be showing off stuff from the Bureau, XCOM Declassified, along with the upcoming Civilization 5 expansion, Brave New World, the iOS version of XCOM Enemy Unknown, upcoming Borderlands 2 DLC, and, this, surprisingly enough, we now know who also holds the WWE license. 2K will be showing off their upcoming WWE game, and also NBA 2K14. Next up, good news, especially for me, since I love the original of this. Defense Grid 2 will live on despite the Kickstarter falling short.
That's good.
The Kickstarter campaign for Defense Grid 2 was a bit of an odd one in the fact that it basically... There were rewards to expand the original Defense Grid at various tiers, with the 100% being the full thing of Defense Grid 2. Unfortunately, they were only able to make level 1, which was $250,000, which resulted in the release of the DLC Defense Grid Containment for the original game. Now, in a new blog post, developer Hidden Path has revealed that Defense Grid 2 is set for release sometime in the first half of 2014 and will be available for Windows, Mac, and Linux via Steam, thanks to a investor being interested enough in the game and giving them the money to back a full sequel. Now, there's no word on who the investor is or whether it's a private investment or a publisher, but Kickstarter backers are happy to hear this, as they pretty much got like a whole shitload of comments on their page. This I'm very happy for. I love the original Defense Grid. It's one of the best tower defense games, especially story-wise, and the fact that the story works and the computer that you have that's talking to you, very well done. I like the voice acting that the voice actor they chose for the computer. And what can I say? It's a great game. It's even on sale right now. It's a weekend sale on Steam, and I recommend, if you even have the passing interest in a tower defense game, get Defense Grid.
Fun fact: the engine that Defense Grid uses is the Gamebryo engine, which is the same engine that's used in Oblivion.
Yep.
And Fallout 3 and New Vegas. It's amazing to see how an engine like that can be stable in a game like Defense Grid. In a game like New Vegas or Fallout, it can be buggy as all hell.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun fact I thought people want to be interested in.
But yeah, again, definitely check out Defense Grid. It's worth your time. Especially since they even got Valve. Valve helped them make an expansion pack for them called Defense Grid You Monster to help celebrate Portal 2's release back in, I think it was 2010, I believe, was when Portal 2 came out. I may be incorrect on it. No, it's probably 2011. Yeah, it's 2011. I'm sorry. Yeah, it has been a while, but it's one to definitely look at.
April 18th, 2011.
Yeah. But yeah, for just the base game, and also with You Monster, along with the fact they got
2 years.
They have the voice actress of Gladys in there talking to you and giving you the usual dark humor. It's a game that you definitely wouldn't feel any buyer's remorse for getting it. It's worth every cent.
All right, what else you got
next
for us?
up, remember that rumor about Metal Gear Solid: The Legacy? It's true.
Why?
Metal Gear Solid: The Legacy Collection confirmed for the PS3. 8 games will be included into it. Yeah, the games confirmed. The games that will be part of it are Metal Gear Solid 2 HD Edition, Metal Gear Solid 3 HD Edition, Peace Walker HD Edition, the VR missions, Metal Gear Solid 4 Trophy Edition, and that's pretty much it.
That's a thing, I guess.
Also, included with it will be the original MX versions of the first Metal Gear Solid games, and 2 Ashley Wood graphic novels to help to actually give a little bit more insight into the whole four game. Actually, well, if it includes Peace Walker, 5 game series.
Metal Gear.
Yeah, and of course, with this many games, yeah, it's confirmed that the Legacy Collection will be coming on 2 Blu-ray discs.
And since Metal Gear Solid 4 takes one all on its own, that's not surprising.
Yeah. again, I was not really doubting that this was going to happen. I mean, it's...
On the other hand, wasn't there already a Metal Gear Solid collection? Or am I misremembering things?
Yeah, but... Again, if you've already... You've got, like... Unless you really want... Like the what was the original? The original package had what was it? Just 2 and 3, or did it actually have 1, 2, and 3?
I
and
don't
Peace
remember.
Walker. This is just apparently just the complete package, which I kind of feel sorry for
until the next Metal Gear game comes out.
But yeah, I do feel sorry for those that bought the original whole package of Metal Gear games.
What's this price for?
Pretty much just collection? The price has not been given out just yet, unfortunately.
Of course it hasn't. Of course it hasn't.
It has not. Yeah. So that remains to be seen. But it's
silly of me expecting a price.
The date has been announced that it will be coming June 2013.
Oh, a date, but not a price.
Yep. Alright, our last 2 stories they were definitely coming out of left field. There will be a Ratchet & Clank movie coming in 2015.
Yeah,
it will be a full-length animated feature. And good news in the fact that this could be the first good video game movie. Insomniac is helming pretty much most of everything except for the animation. The animation is being done by Blockade Entertainment and Rainmaker Entertainment. However, the rest, story, and just everything like production, screenplay, and that, Insomniac is completely hands-on. They want to make sure this turns out well.
This could be on par with a Pixar movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying that lightly. I legitimately mean that.
Just seeing the teaser, I mean,
I
could swear it came out of a Ratchet & Clank game. They did very well.
Out of all the properties that are out there for games, Ratchet & Clank's one of the most likely to be a good movie. It has a lot of the things a movie would want. Fun piece of technology, an interesting setting, some good characters that play well with each other.
Yeah, good story and good humor.
Yes, everything that you'd want really in a Pixar quality movie. This could be the movie that finally makes video movies on the level of not being shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
isn't there a Heavenly Sword movie coming out too?
Yeah, there will also be a Heavenly Sword movie coming out as well. But however, this will not be going to theaters. It will be going to direct-to-video. According to the very end of Variety's article about the Ratchet & Clank movie, they said that Blockade will also be producing Heavenly Sword, a CG animated movie that will be, again, getting the direct-to-video home treatment. However, it's not been said that Ninja Theory will actually be hands-on as Insomniac.
Speaking as one of the few people that actually liked Heavenly Sword, I'm not sure a movie was necessary because the game is already only 3 hours long. You can buy it probably pretty cheap nowadays, beat it in a couple hours, and it will be a movie experience. I'm not sure a movie will be good for Heavenly Sword because it's already short enough. You don't really need a movie for it.
Yeah, that's probably why it's getting the direct-to-video treatment. Well, Ratchet & Clank is getting full feature film.
Yeah, probably. Because I mean, it had a very fascinating setting, Heavenly Sword, and even if it's just a straight up retelling of the game, it will be probably a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Also, it's mentioned out that the Ratchet & Clank movie is reported to be. It's basically going to be I wouldn't exactly say retelling of the first game, but it's like an expanded. It's going to expand on the first game. It's basically going to cover the major events of the first game, but also expand on some of that stuff too.
So we're going back to Drek.
Yep. And I have to admit, Chairman Drek, he was an interesting villain for the first one.
Yeah.
I definitely cracked up at the segments that you see him.
He worked.
So it'll be nice to see see how Insomniac will be expanding on him somewhat.
Yeah, I agree. I like Chairman Drek.
Who doesn't? That's the real question.
You think this is about? This is about one thing and one thing only. Cash.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
And that's pretty much all we got to report for this week. Any final thoughts?
EA still sucks. Now it sucks harder.
Yeah.
He's hated by everybody or something.
Yeah, I think EA is kind of
got rid of one of the few good things in their library, which is the EA Partners thing.
Yeah, EA has kind of gone past 6 feet under, and it's now officially just they're like really close to hitting magma and burning up.
The only thing that's saving them is like the people like the properties that they own. Like that's the only thing that's saving them right now.
True enough.
The practice they've already been dead a long time ago.
Yeah, do agree on that. Well,
anyway,
that's all we got for this week. Hope everyone has a nice Sunday night, and take care. Catch y'all next week. Oh, jeez. We'll see you later, everyone.